What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on, buddy? How you doing, Justin?
Man, I'm surviving, actually. I'm in the Pacific Northwest where we don't get into the 80s, and it's been over 100 degrees the last 3 days.
I've been noticing, man. I've been seeing what you've been posting, like 111 degrees. Is that,
oh my God.
Is that real?
Yeah. I was telling my wife, like, if you've ever wondered, like, what it's like to be in Iraq, just walk outside right now.
No kidding.
Just know that in Iraq, there's no going back inside. That's just your life for the next, 6 months.
I'm in what's considered the dirty South, and it's not that hot outside.
I know. I'm talking to my friends in Texas, Arizona, like all over the country. And they're like, yeah, it's like 70, 80 here. I'm like, I hate all of you. I'm in Washington.
My family's in Texas. That's where I moved here from. And I'm from Baton Rouge originally, and it's muggy in Baton Rouge. It gets hot there, but it's more muggy. It sticks to you. Like here, it feels hotter here than it did in Texas, because Texas is more of a dry heat. Here, it just sticks to you. So it's like you can't get away from it. But 111 degrees in Washington?
Yeah, it's out of control.
Something's happening. Something's wrong. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, excuse us for that rant. Welcome to the second episode of the Pace League. So we are going to talk about our top 10 running backs, going to compare our lists and going to see if we can't help y'all make up your minds whenever it comes to draft day. Sound good? Okay, let's go. Justin, let's start with you, my man. Who is your number one overall running back?
So I think that this one, it's pretty standard now. I have pivoted a little bit just on some news, and I may change back if that news changes. But right now I have Christian McCaffrey as my RB1 if we were to draft today.
Okay. It was Saquon before. Is it because all the gonna quote unquote hold him back a little bit to make sure he's healthy news?
Exactly. I still think he's going to perform phenomenally, but if he, if they take him from 20 or 24 carries a game to 18 carries a game, then obviously that's going to reduce his production.
Yeah, I agree. CMC number one for me all the way. I mean, he had a high ankle sprain that they kept trying to take care of last season. Yeah. They would let him play, and all of a sudden he'd have 3 touchdowns and 30 points in a game on average. So, I mean, they were just trying to make sure he was taken care of. They're taking care of their main weapon. So I agree.
Yeah, I kept saying I didn't want them to bring him back at all last year. Just let it heal. You guys weren't winning anything. Right.
Mike Davis was a nice filler. He's a nice filler. So, I mean, anybody who was lucky enough to get Mike Davis.
Right.
I jumped on him quick, dude. And that was definitely good to have.
I was so blessed with my running backs that I did not need Mike Davis.
Good for you, buddy. What'd you do? Draft like heavy RB?
Yeah. Well, I took Dalvin Cook. I did pick up J-Rob. So it was pretty awesome.
J-Rob, man, that is something that you and I will go into on another episode that we could talk about the whole time. But my number one is Christian McCaffrey as well. There's really there doesn't need to be any rhyme or reason to it. It's just my number one. And you mentioned Dalvin Cook. That is actually my number 2 overall. I know it's a little like it's between Dalvin Cook and Alvin Kamara for me as far as my number 2, but I'm going with Dalvin Cook just because of the quarterback situation in New Orleans. Dalvin Cook, I understand he hasn't played a full 16 games yet in the season, but man, he finished second overall last season, one in touches, yards. I mean, he went ham last season. I just love watching the guy play as well. So that's my number 2 overall.
And so last year I got a lot of slack because I had Dalvin Cook as my number 2 overall. And a lot of people just didn't agree with that, for the reason you said, that he's never finished a season, but I thought he'd be fine. He did okay. He didn't play a full season, but most running backs don't nowadays.
Right.
So I still love Dalvin Cook, but I got your boy Alvin Kamara as my RB2.
AK. I can't hate it. I love Alvin Kamara, man.
And I'm assuming that Jameis Winston going to be a quarterback? If Taysom Hill's quarterback, then AK's fallen pretty far down those rankings, maybe even outside my top 12. But I'm assuming Jameis Winston is the quarterback. So with that, he's my number 2 running back.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that Kamara's numbers from last year were inflated because of the 6 touchdown game. I think, and to be completely honest, even with Hill in there, I think he's going to be still inside the top 10. But you're right. I mean, Hill likes to run the ball. But the Saints, Sean Payton is going to make sure that his stars are highlighted.
Sean Payton gets too creative when Taysom's in. Just too creative for his own good sometimes.
I get the feeling that Hill is going to have a role. I don't think he's going to be the main quarterback. I mean, if you look at his contract, it's all voidable. So it's like $140 million for 4 years, and everybody's like, "Holy crap!" Like, it's insane. And then you read the fine; it's all voidable, and you're like, "Holy crap! What?" So it's
he agreed.
Yes, he signed that. Who's his agent? Horrible. But so you got that, and he's also fumbled every game he started. That's a big no-no to Sean Payton.
It's definitely not helpful for a team.
No,
but I mean, to be fair, Jameis Winston threw 30 interceptions in a season. So,
right. So last season, Kamara was running back 1 by 40 points over Cook. So that, you think of that, but it's because of that last game. That last game put him over there. I mean, Cook had, even though he's only played roughly the top, like an average of 14 games a season, still racked up 3,700 plus yards in the past couple seasons. So I mean, they're both incredible. That's like, kind of like we were talking about before we turned on the camera, Tupac and Biggie, 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
So, they're definitely, say you pick up CMC, okay? Whomever Payne decides to draft, whether it be Dalvin Cook, whether it be Kamara,
whichever.
I'm grabbing the other guy. I don't mind.
Yeah, exactly.
If I'm that high in the draft, I don't mind giving who I'm going to take. I've got
exactly. You take whatever falls to you at that point.
Exactly. Now, if he messes around and picks up Derrick Henry, crap.
Yeah, now you're just pissed off.
Now I'm like, damn it. So,
why you make me make this choice?
Right. Who do you got as your number 3, my man?
My number 3 is Dalvin Cook. Okay. So like you said, just they're interchangeable almost.
Yeah, seriously. And to me, again, Christian McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook could be, if Cook could play a full 16 games and he could guarantee you your fantasy playoffs, man, he'd be real close to the number 1 overall because they feed him that ball, man. He's like, even though they've got Justin Jefferson, they've got Adam Thielen, they've got Irv Smith, even though they're saying that Irv Smith isn't going to be anything more than what he was last season, which I think is hogwash. But I'm trying to edit myself and use clean language.
And we'll talk about him in a little bit, but Zeke, he got that feed me tattoo on him. But I mean, last year, Dalvin was the one cooking.
Well done. Well done. Do you have that written down? Did you think of that one?
I came up with a bunch of those last season.
All right, man. Yeah, dust them off. Bring them out. My number 3 is your number 2, Cat.
Off the shelf.
Yeah, man. With that from behind that Thor with no head. You still haven't fixed that.
Yeah, I know. I got to find where his head went. Also, right here, man, I've had this here forever. That's Demaryius Thomas autographed helmet who just retired.
Oh, congratulations on the retirement, my friend. Oh, baby. Yeah. So my number 3 is your number 2. It's like ours are swapped. Mine's Kamara.
Yeah.
And the only reason for Kamara being number 3 for me is because I'm a little bit suspect on the QB situation, but then again, I act like I know what's going to happen because the Saints are my team. I love the New Orleans Saints. Who dat, baby? Who dat?
Right.
But I kind of like I like the situation for Dalvin Cook a little bit better. Now, they're interchangeable for me, like I was saying before, because Dalvin Cook, the whole quote-unquote injury thing, and you and I are both very similar. We hate the word injury prone. Hate it. However, Dalvin Cook has been out every year with an injury, whether it be, last season he played 14 games, but that's because he was in for like a play in one game.
Yeah.
So it would have been 13. So, I mean, but still, you look at the numbers that Cook put up, there's a good possibility he could play a full 16 games. I mean, I think it's a good possibility for anybody to play 16 games. So
Dalvin Cook in the second half of the season last year, I was averaging 23.2 points, the most of any running back. The next closest was 3 points behind him. Like that's a pretty big gap.
Buddy, give me your number 4, bud. Looks like
we actually have the same. Yeah, which is kind of surprising because this one, that's not consensus, but we both have Zeke here. Yeah, Dalvin's gonna cook, Zeke's gonna eat, he's gonna get fed this year. So man, that tattoo's so stupid though.
I'm wondering, is it real? Is it real?
God, I hope not.
You don't think he went to like the county fair and they pasted it on him? God, I hope so.
Since it's Zeke, it wouldn't surprise me if it was like what's that, Hinta or Henna? Yeah. That wouldn't surprise me.
Right.
But yeah, I think he's gonna go back to being that bell cow back. I don't think that that's kind of, this kind of my teardrop here to Zeke, because I don't think he's gonna be able to be that RB1, but I think he'll get that workload enough to sustain it. Their offensive line has lost too much, I think, for him to go back to that RB1 status. Mm-hmm. But I think that he's going to just get so much volume on a much improved offense overall, because, I mean, their offensive weapons are ridiculous. Right. With Dak coming back, you have CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, what's his name? Amari Cooper there. So, like, they're gonna, like, you can't just stack the box against Zeke. So right. He's gonna be able to, get a lot of yards before he's even touched.
Yeah, 100%. I laughed whenever you said Amari Cooper because it took you a minute to remember him, because he's like supposedly the wide receiver one there. Like Mike,
he's the least exciting of them.
Shout out Mike on the mic from Warzone. He always gives me crap because I drafted Amari Cooper in one of our mocks. So he's like, yeah, Jay loves Amari Cooper. I'm like, I got him in the 5th round. I went heavy RB. Fourth round. I went heavy RB. Yeah. I'll take Amari Cooper as my number 1. I'll take Amari Cooper as a receiver, first receiver off the board in round 4. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just funny because everybody always seems to hate on Amari Cooper, and I'm like, he's not bad, but anyway.
I hated on him when he was on the Raiders, just because you could get Crabtree for much cheaper and he produced the same. But here in this offense, no, he's their number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And see, I don't know what it is, but whenever he was with the Raiders, he had a lot of drops, man. So
and he will have weeks that he just vanishes, though.
Yeah, he's like a Mike Evans. Like Mike Evans as well. But anyway, we're talking about running backs right now.
Yeah, that's true. Running backs.
So Zeke Elliott, the thing with him is he is going at a steal in the late, like I've seen him go in the early 2nd round, and I couldn't believe that. I was almost like, I almost want to stop mock drafting because of this. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
But everybody's like, well, Jay, he tanked it to RB11 last season. Okay.
Cool.
He had a rough season with 1,300 plus total yards and
with no touchdowns. Quarterback.
Yeah. And now Dak is back. So I think Zeke at 4 is still going to be, I think that's a steal for him. It's just because the first 3 are just that good.
Yeah.
So you can get Elliott at the end of the first round and then come back and have another decent running back, or even get one of the elite wide receivers. And you're sitting pretty already. So yeah, Zeke at number 4, that dude's a steal. So my number 5 and your number 5, they match. Great minds. Saquon Barkley, your guy, who is going to be number 1 overall, dropped to 5.
Yeah. And that's because that volume from everyone above him. Everyone above him is a bell cow back that can also catch the ball. Yep. So that's why he's dropped to this point on my rankings.
Strictly injury issues.
Yeah, exactly. And if they were to come out tomorrow and be like, Saquon is healthy and he is going to be our guy, like, we're going back to him, back to the well, then he would jump right back to my number 1 spot.
I really believe he's going to be. I mean, they don't have anything else there.
I know. I'm like, just say it so you could give me confidence to move him back to my 1 spot.
Yeah, give him confidence so he can get him at number 1, and then I could possibly get CMC at number 2. Or number 3, excuse me, because Payne,
you got Tpain, yeah.
Who knows what he's gonna do? Last time I talked to him, he's like, man, I love Lamar Jackson, man. Take him. Take him. And then watch Lamar Jackson end up having another MVP season. We all look stupid.
Yeah, and he breaks records again, and it somehow makes sense.
Right. So Barkley is number 5 for me, just strictly because of the injury issues. I mean, I love Barkley. I'm something that you'll learn about me, which you probably already have. If anybody pays any attention to me, I like grabbing guys that I like to watch play. Sounds.
Jay, you got to stop with these innuendos. Yesterday the balls, today you like grabbing guys.
Balls, not footballs. Balls. I like drafting guys that I enjoy watching play. Like last season, I was talking to Adam Rank before, name drop. So we both were talking about in the interview where I would go for Kamara number 1 overall, just because I love, like if I had the number 1 overall pick, I would pick up Kamara. He's right there with CMC for me because of I love to watch the guy play. If I'm going to watch my favorite team play and I don't have anybody on that team for fantasy, I'm going to be miserable because I'm
But so sometimes I won't, because for example, when they're doing bad, it's like double depressing.
Yeah, I know.
And being a 49er fan, like we don't have a lot of top 12 guys where you know for sure they're going to produce.
Yeah.
We got one of those, and it's in the tight end position, so it's not even exciting.
As long as he's on the field, I mean, he's something to look at. But
yeah.
Saquon Barkley at number 5 for both of us. Your number 6, and we're the same. Go ahead.
Yeah, we alter after this one, I believe. But number 6 is Derrick Henry. Yeah, and like I said, the other guys are all bell cow backs that can also catch the ball. He's still a bell cow back. He just doesn't catch the ball. It's not that he can't, it's that he doesn't. They just don't utilize him.
Right.
And I had him at 8 up until they got Julio Jones, and then that moved him up to my 6th spot.
Yeah. Henry's at 6 for the exact same reasons. We play PPR. If you're not playing PPR, go get your life. Seriously. I mean, it's like
after years of not playing PPR, I convinced my league mates to do half point to ease them into it. Let's dip your toe in the water, and then
just the tip, see what it feels like. So, balls. So mine, I'm big on PPR, so I like Henry, but he hardly ever catches the ball. I think he had 18 receptions last season.
Yeah, something ridiculous. I should have it up, but
you can make the argument for him because this dude's going to get 300 plus touches and he's going to do something with every single one of them. He was how many, 100 and some odd yards away from the total, the record last season. They're going to try and get him that record, and they're a good enough team to where they continue.
Yeah, 16 passes.
16?
19 receptions.
Yeah, awesome. On how many targets?
31.
Yeah, no, it's the only reason
it's not a horrible receiving rate. Like the catch percent isn't bad. Mm-hmm. It's just that they don't use them. They don't do that.
Everybody, real quick, before I forget, go down, smash the like button, subscribe, keep checking us out, and please let us know in the comments what you think, whether you agree or disagree. So I wanted to make sure that you guys can show all the hate you want right down here, which right now it's not showing while we're recording this, so it's weird. It's like I'm pointing at
nothing. Yeah,
balls. So nothing. Thanks a lot, Justin.
Well, I mean, the lack of hatred down there currently.
Yeah, I hate myself. So real quick, while we're at basically the half point, I want to go ahead and thank Bear Clothing for being an official sponsor. Bear Clothing, that's where I got this shirt. They're incredibly comfortable. You can wear them while you train. You can wear them while you're out. Look stylish. They've got Ricky Rose, who's been wearing it, man. You got Coach Hue Jackson, who's in the league, who's been repping it. Love it. Go definitely.
Yeah, it's awesome. They're awesome workout clothes. Just like Jay, I don't know if you guys can tell, but like Jay sometimes frequents the gym, And like in the, you even lift, bro. And in the gym, like, I mean, these shirts are just awesome to work out, and they look cool while you're there, which obviously is the most important thing when you're in the gym.
That's all it's about, man. That's why there are mirrors everywhere. It's not for form. It's for just looking.
No, I go there a lot. I mean, and you can see me. I don't work out. I just walk around there wearing bare clothing.
That's what's
Look
up.
cool.
Also, want to give a shout out and say a big thank you to Trophy Smack. Anybody looking for any gear from Trophies for your fantasy league, in order to represent and show off your wins. Hell, you can give some stuff to people who came in dead last in your league as well. Make sure you level up your fantasy smack talk and reward greatness with Trophy Smack. They're going to be donating a ring to us as well. For some ice for somebody to rep. So Tpain does not need to win this at all because he's got enough of the real stuff. So does Young Cash. So we're going to try and keep that out of their hands. Anyway, let's move forward to our number 7. Number 7 is where we kind of differ here, buddy. Mine is Austin Eckler, the guy who I'm repping for the league, Austin Eckler Foundation. Now, his ADP is around 11, which is fine. Getting him on the way back in your drafts is great. I mean, especially in PPR, this guy's going to be a monster. The only thing he needs to do is just stay on the field. I know he had injury issues last season, but if I'm reading this correctly, in PPR, he's going to dominate as long as he stays healthy. Eckler was on pace for 126 targets in 16 games last season, and that's what you want to see. That's insane. It's not like he got 30 some odd targets like Derrick Henry. And the targets that get sent his way, he catches damn near every one of them. And the dude is shifty. He's strong. I don't know if y'all seen his workout regimen. The dude is a brick.
Oh, his workouts are ridiculous.
He's unbelievable, man. And if Herbert targets him as much as he did last season, anybody's going to feel stupid not taking him later than 7, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean that for me, I don't have him there. I have him a little bit low, and that is my fear. Is I think Herbert may regress a little bit, like not so much as being a worse quarterback, but just his numbers being dialed back a little bit with their defense being better. Still, I mean, I love Eckler, but I just have him lower. Still in my top 12.
That's fine. We don't have to agree on everything, bud.
Right.
So who is your number 7?
Aaron Jones, which everybody seems to have forgotten about.
All the Aaron Rodgers talk. That's all it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, I mean, I don't think it affects him for me much. It affects the receivers a lot more. Mm-hmm. Aaron Jones, like, he may drop a little bit in my rankings, but not too far. He finished like the second half of the season as the RB7, so like right where I have him at. And I mean, we all know what Aaron Jones can do. Like you said, it's just the Aaron Rodgers thing that's worrying people. And I mean, that's not a big enough concern for me.
Right. I got Aaron Jones as my number 9. Now he always performs better than I expect he will. He finished number 7, number 4, number 16 over the last 4 seasons. I mean, he's been killing it. So I mean, I totally get why you would have him higher than me. I've got somebody in front of him.
And they sent away his backup.
Yeah,
I mean, they drafted a dude, but the guy 2 years ago, but the guy they drafted more in the same line as Aaron Jones. I don't think he's taking, like, Aaron Jones could see more pass catching work now.
Right, correct. Yeah, Aaron Jones is going to see a lot more passing than A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon is going to be more of the truck. But Aaron Jones
he's just going to be on the sideline doing squats.
Right. Yeah. What did he name his Quadzilla and the Quad Father?
Yeah, the quad. I really like the Quad Father. I hadn't heard that one till he said it, and I loved it.
All right, my number 8, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, first off, Taylor has the 4th easiest schedule against the run this season. I don't even think I don't think that a healthy Marlon Mack is going to stand in his way. They didn't pick up his 5-year or his 5th-year option. I think they're going to have a pretty decent 1-2 punch if they need to, but I really believe that Jonathan Taylor is going to take over that backfield like he did at the end of the season last season. And Nyheim Hines is going to be there, which he's a great little receiving back, but Jonathan Taylor can do it all. I think that they want to keep some running backs just in case they need to rest Taylor, because I think he's going to end up getting a ton of work. You saw what he did in college. I mean, he had the most work out of any running back it's just unbelievable. Everybody kept saying, oh, that much work is going to end up hurting him. So I think what they did is they relaxed him a little bit. They gave the ball to who was it? Is it Jonathan? Was his last name Campbell?
I don't remember.
I can't remember exactly.
I've already moved on to the next the next seain.
But yeah, Jonathan Taylor, to me, I think he's going to end up being he's got a 3-down back set skill set, and I really think that he's going to end up coming into his own this season.
Yeah, I love him. I agree with you. I have him just for the reason you mentioned with the other two guys, slightly lower, but I have him as my number 10. So.
And that's fine. He's still in the top 10. I mean, it's good to be, careful with him. It's his sophomore season. You never know.
I have Nick Chubb here. Yeah, I know. Nick Chubb, I think, is the only running back on this list that I would put up with Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, and McCaffrey if Kareem Hunt wasn't there.
That's all.
But Stefanski loves to run the ball, and he has two of the best running backs in the NFL in his backfield. So I just think they are going to both eat, and they're both going to produce. Like, it's going to be ridiculous. I don't think that you even need a quarterback on that team. They might as well trade and get Lamar Jackson.
Baker is one of those guys who's just like, he's one of those hit or miss. One week he's going to kill it and everybody's going to swing for the fences and waivers. And I'm like, please do. And then he just craps the bed. So then they just get the ball. Yeah. And Chubb for me isn't in my top 10. And I know, bring on the hate. I can already hear the click, 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 click. Everybody's going to eat it. And that's fine. It's Kareem Hunt. If Kareem Hunt wasn't there, Nick Chubb would be up in the top 5 easily for me without question. But again, we play PPR, and every season so far, Kareem Hunt has finished ahead of Nick Chubb in PPR formats. And I understand Chubb missed 4 games last season. Is that right?
Yeah.
And that's a testament to Nick Chubb. I think he's a monster. I love the way he plays. I love watching him play. I can't spend my first pick on Nick Chubb when you can wait 3 more rounds and get Kareem Hunt in PPR.
I'm not gonna lie, it is hard when it comes to me to actually click the draft button on his name, because I mean there is the risk there, but I mean this is where I see him finishing.
Right. And very well could. I mean he was running back 10, and then Kareem Hunt was running back number 9. They were right there.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And Chubb missed 4 games, but even before he had a 16-game season, and Kareem Hunt still finished ahead of him. Barely. Yeah. It's almost like Stefanski's like, hang on now, rein it back, because fantasy, I hate fantasy. So I'm just going to go ahead and make it as even as possible to make this the most ridiculous argument ever, because Nick Chubb is incredible. Kareem Hunt is incredible. They have the dopest backfield you can find. But when it comes to fantasy, I mean, Chubb missed 4 games, and I'm just using that as an excuse to be like, nope, I like Kareem Hunt better.
So who do you have at 9?
I've got your boy Aaron Jones.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah. He Aaron Jones is a beast. I just, for some reason, he's one of those guys that I look at on the draft board and I'm like, I'll wait. And I hate that about myself. I don't know why. He's awesome, man. He's so much fun to watch. He's an awesome running back. He's got nothing holding him back this season. Jamal Williams is in Detroit. So you got A.J. Dillon, who A.J. Dillon is a great, like, say you draft Aaron Jones, phenomenal pickup in later rounds is A.J. Dillon. The same with McCaffrey. I meant to say this, Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah.
1, it's fun to say. And 2, make sure you draft him in your later rounds. Like Dalvin Cook, get Alexander Madison, get your hand. If you got these top guys, make sure to get your handcuffs later in the rounds. Some people don't like to do handcuffs. I'm a big fan of it.
Me too. I it's the new thing trending on Twitter, not to get a handcuff. They're like, don't get a handcuff when you could get another valuable back. Like they'll grab someone else's they'll get someone else's handcuff. They'll like, go get let's see, like who's backup running back here for one of these guys.
Chase Edmonds, maybe.
Yeah, like well, is he? He might be a starter.
That's true.
Oh shoot, what's the Cowboys?
Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard. They'll go get Tony Pollard when they have Dalvin Cook on their team, because then if Zeke goes down, you have two really good running backs. I'm like, yeah, but what happens if Dalvin Cook goes down and Zeke doesn't?
Exactly.
Now you don't have a running back to play.
100%. Who is more likely to go down in that situation?
Yeah.
Zeke Elliott has
get your handcuff because it secures what you drafted. That you're drafting the running back for this team because this team does this with the ball. So get your own handcuff. Like, it just makes sense.
That's why they call him a handcuff.
Yeah, unless you have Nick Chubb, then you probably won't get your own handcuff because you got to put too much draft capital in.
I had a guy last season who drafted both, and he would play both of them. And
people probably mocked him when he did it.
I didn't. I was like, shit. Excuse me. I was like, crap, because I was trying so hard for Hunt in the later rounds. Like, I thought he was going to last to the 5th, and of course,
my number 9 guy here is Joe Mixon.
Woo!
Right? We're mixing it up.
Woo! Let's hear it in the comments.
Yeah. You talk about hate. This is a polarizing player.
Dude, he is. I can't hate on it. I really can't, because I personally like Joe Mixon. I think he's a phenomenal back, and they're supposedly going to give him the most work that he's ever experienced in his career. Who knows if that's just coach speak, but that's definitely the type of coach speak you want to hear.
Right.
The only thing that scares me is his offensive line. Freaks me out a little bit. They didn't really do much to.
They did bring in one offensive lineman a little bit later, so it didn't get, it's not the hype because they didn't get Sewell, who they should have. And man, if they had gotten Sewell, Joe Mixon may have been higher in my rankings, which is scary.
But if you look at this, if you've got Burrow running for his life, where's he going to throw the ball? Probably to the person who's closest to him that he can see is open, like a dink and dunk pass to his backfield. That could be. That's the thing. You never know if it's going to work out or it's going to be crap. I think it'll work out a little bit better than most people are saying. So I can't really hate on you having Joe Mixon at 9, because he's definitely got the skill set. He can catch the ball really well out of the backfield, and he's
getting the workload. The only thing that people worry about, or the biggest thing people worry about him, is he's another one of these players that gets labeled as injury prone, which he's really nice. I mean, he's played more since 2017 than Dalvin Cook. I was reading this, right? Dalvin Cook's up there in your top 3. So if you're adverse to injury risk, then like Dalvin Cook shouldn't be up there either. But I'm not. I don't believe in that, because if you believe that, also you missed out on Dalvin Cook last year and you drafted CMC because he's never been hurt. And how'd that work out? Like, the injuries aren't something you can predict like that. So certain players, like certain reoccurring injuries to the same body part, that's concerning. But outside of that, if a player's had 2 or 3 different injuries, it doesn't concern me.
Yeah. Very smart, man. Very good number 9. My number 10. Now, Joe Mixon is a hair outside of my top 10 because of the offensive line that I'm worried about. This guy barely edged him out. I've got Cam Akers.
Oh, he's my number 13.
Now, if I'm being honest, Cam Akers has hit my 10.
I can hear Florio cheering right now.
Yay! Shout out Mike.
He's probably angry that you have him this low, actually.
Yeah, man. Okay.
And when I said 13, he probably unsubscribed.
McVay is what scares me, because he's the type of guy who will dangle a carrot, so to speak. Look at Todd Gurley. Toward the end of the season, they just basically, to me, he killed Todd Gurley. I don't think Todd Gurley killed Todd Gurley. I think McVay did. I think he freaked everybody out on him. But so they stopped using him the way that they could. Todd Gurley is one of the best running backs to hit the field in a long time, and then all of a sudden they just stopped using him. And then all of a sudden some issues came out saying that he had arthritis or whatever. But if you see Todd Gurley play, he still plays fine. Cam Akers, to me, if he gets the workload that he got at the end of the season last season, he's easily a top 10 guy. But you still have Devery Henderson. Not Devery Henderson.
Darrell, one of the two.
D. Henderson. Devery Henderson.
I don't know how he pronounces it. It's spelled Darrell Henderson, but I think it might be Darrell
Henderson. He's got Henderson. And Henderson did really well last season whenever he got the opportunity. So you've got another guy waiting in the wings that McVay loves to use. So because he was a pretty decent draft pick before whenever they picked him up. So, I mean, they draft a guy in a certain spot because they're going to use him. So hopefully they end up using Cam Akers the way that they use him toward the end of the season. If they do it all season, he's definitely a top 10 guy.
And that's the fear with me is I don't think it will be as solid of one running, like he won't be a worse running back. I just don't think he will be. Yeah.
That's my biggest.
Now, I think he leads the committee by quite a bit. That's why he's still my running back 13.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's going to be so many committees in the NFL this season. That's why we have our guys like so high on the, like you got, Zeke and all them that high because there's not really a committee with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Akers, that's the one thing that scares me, that he's been in my top 10, then out, and then in, and then out, and then in. So I'm on the fence with him in my top 10, but as of right now, he's in the top 10 because if there is a committee, even if he leads that committee, he's going to do a lot with the ball when he gets it. He's also got, I think, the second easiest schedule for a running back. So that's definitely a plus.
Yeah.
Who's your last guy, bud?
Oh, I got 11 and 12 still, right? My
we
10
were doing the top 10. Go ahead.
Oh, top 10. Oh, sorry. So my 10 is that's JT here.
Okay.
Yeah, and JT Jonathan Taylor for.
Why do you hate Jonathan Taylor?
Because you do have Cam Akers there, or Cam Akers, sorry. You do have Marlon Mack coming back. You have Nyheim Hines there.
Yeah.
Nyheim Hines will take passing work, right? We saw that happen last season. There's going to be games where it's like, this is a Nyheim Hines game.
That's true.
Which sucks. And then Mac, I'm not concerned with Mac taking his job, but I am concerned with him taking, 4 or 5 carries a game from him, maybe even more. So that's the concern there, why I have him drop down below some of these other guys. I'm gonna give an honorable mention to my number 11 though, which is David Montgomery. I'm huge on. Because he's in the same situation as Jonathan Taylor, just a lot more hated on by everyone out there, right? He's got a new quarterback. He's got a pass catching running back there that everyone's like, oh, that's why you got to avoid him. But do you?
Yeah. I don't think Tariq Cohen is, I don't think he's going to take too much from Montgomery. And yeah, with the new quarterback there, 2 new quarterbacks, really, I think Montgomery's going to do a hell of a lot better than he did the past couple seasons. Last season,
both of them got a quarterback upgrade. I think Wentz is an upgrade there, and I think either one of these quarterbacks is an upgrade for Chicago. Sadly, Andy Dalton. It's sad when Andy Dalton's an upgrade.
It's a red rifle. What a horrible name, dude. He looks like a Batman villain. Have you ever looked at his eyebrows? It's like, yeah, balls. He's like this. It looks like he had some bad work done.
Yeah. He looks like he should be a villain in like a Disney movie with those eyebrows.
Yeah, and his power would be fire, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. He was in The Last Airbender, and obviously because it's a horrible movie, and he is a horrible quarterback at this point in his career, but still an improvement.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. Poor Trubisky. So, and I noticed on your number 12, you overachiever. You've got Eckler at your number 12.
Yes, yeah. And so I just think that there's, like I said, the quarterback is the thing for me. I think they're going to reduce how much they throw the ball, which will, for PPR, is going to hurt Eckler some. I love Austin Eckler's skill set, and like in no sort of creepy way, I sit there and watch his workout videos.
Ball.
But yeah, he's amazing. And he's a great dude too. So
Yeah, phenomenal
got
guy.
that going for him.
Yeah, he's that big gamer too. Y'all need to go check out Gridiron Gaming Group. It's pretty.
Yeah, I just accept I probably won't have him on most of my teams just because of where I have him ranked, though. Unfortunately.
Yeah. If you're drafting early, he's not going to make it back to you, especially in our league, 14 team. My God.
Yeah, I don't. By the time I get my second pick, like I might be taking Tariq Cohen.
Right, I might take a kicker for all I know. My God,
is Justin Tucker still available?
That's what I was going after, man. And we're having kickers and defenses in this league.
Oh yeah,
like just do away with kickers. Totally prerogative, totally fine. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to be drafting in a league, make it as realistic as possible. I know it's
right. I want it to be football.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be a GM of a team. If I was ever a GM of a team, I'm not going to say, well, we don't have a kicker. So I mean,
yeah, get rid of the kicker.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a chance that Coach Hue Jackson might. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, we're gonna have him on the show soon. I'm gonna make sure he sees that. I love how him and Andy are just going after each other.
Oh, I know. It cracks me up. I'm gonna give some ammo to Coach Hue Jackson. I'm gonna go back. It's gonna be difficult, but I'm gonna go back and find some bad takes Andy had made, so I could give some ammo just in case. You know.
Okay.
That way, in case some shots get fired, he's got ammunition to fire back.
And it's kind of in Coach's in his it's more in his corner because of, I mean, you know, this is fantasy football. We're not talking about football. We're talking about fantasy football. So let's leave the Browns and stuff out of this. Justin, my man, that does it for episode 2. You got anything else for the people?
Yeah, make sure you guys, don't make sure, but if you would like to donate to our Pace League charity we have set up, we drop links on Twitter all the time and everywhere else. But if you donate to it, any donation of $20 or more enters you to win an autographed Earl Campbell jersey. Any donation of $100 or more will enter you into a drawing to win a custom pair of Jordans that Jay makes, and he is amazing. He's made them for Coach Hue Jackson, Darren Waller. Who else? I've seen Austin Eckler, Tpain, Cheo Nash. Basically, the whole Pace League.
I'm looking at a pair right now that I'm doing for Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, just amazing. He does amazing work. If you guys need this, I might go donate a couple $100 just to make sure I win.
Do we qualify?
I don't know, but
it's our league. We need to make that a rule. I say,
yeah, that's a good point.
Why not? All right, buddy. Always a blast, man. Thanks so much, my good buddy, my good friend, Justin, Clockmanagement. Oh, remember to go follow my guy on Instagram, Twitter. Follow me. I'm plugged in with Jay, the Fantasy Plug 1. He is Management Clock.
Yeah, on Twitter. Yeah.
Management.
Yeah, I don't even know if there's a Clock Management. There better be for me having that name.
Well, yeah, make sure to check out. We've got our own stuff going on YouTube. I've got the interviews. He's got his own show with his buddy. Who's a buddy that's with you on this show?
Perry.
Perry's good people, man. He knows what he's talking about. So definitely go check us out and subscribe to Warzone. Smash the like button, subscribe, hit that bell to get the notifications and everything. Because we have a lot of
as Jay said, we're going to be having all the people from the Pace League on here shortly. So that'll be fun. Correct.
Absolutely. We do the mock draft Mondays. That's always a blast. So make sure to pay attention to that. See how we do our things. We like to do different drafts. This last one was a 2-quarterback league that I dominated.
Because I couldn't make it though.
Whatever. All right, man. You have a good one, buddy. Everybody out there, again, smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell. We'll see you later on. Have a good one.